हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, प्रणाम प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्ण माता जी प्रणाम। Hare Krishna, all the devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances and Dandavat pranam. I invite you to the early morning short Bhagavatam class organized by ISKCON Radha Govinda Temple, Kulai, Mangaluru. I indeed invite you for and on behalf of His Grace Sri Namanishra Das Prabhuji. We shall begin with the prayers. You know very well prayers are very important. It gives mercy of the Lord to us, which in turn makes us understand His message clearly for us to understand and put it into practice. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरि प्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे प्लीज फॉलो मी ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
ओम
ओम
नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमम्
नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमम्।
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्।
शृणुतां स्वकथः कृष्ण पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनः
शृण्वतां स्वकथाः कृष्णः पुण्याश्रवणकीर्तनः।
हृदयन्तः स्तोयभद्राणि विधुनोति सुरस्तताम्
हृद्यन्तस्तो हि अभद्राणि विधुनोति सुहृत्सताम्।
नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया
नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया।
भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी
भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्ति भवति नैष्टिकी
Daily recitation, reading, understanding, or preaching Srimad Bhagavatam certainly removes all inauspicious things from our lives. And it is worshipping Lord Krishna, the Uttama Sloka, who bestows upon us the Mainaistiki Bhakti. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Prescribed Duties for Mankind, Chapter 12. We are coming to almost the end of the chapter. Vrutrasura's glorious death. We plan to take verses from 23 to 30 because there is only one purport of 2 lines in one of the verses. The only thing we'll have to organize is recitation of the verses. Since there are more than 7-8 verses, and we usually have about 8 to 9 recitations, why don't we divide first 2 recitations by first 2 people and rest of the people one doing each of the verses, if that is all right with you. Verses 23 to 30 is first session, and the next last session of the chapter is 31 to 35. Actually, from 23 to 35, all the verses during which Indra kills Vrutrasur. 23 to 25, the first 3 verses, this depicts the fight that resumes and Indra cuts off Vrutrasura's other arm with the thunderbolt. Verse number 26 to 30, the next one, is Vrutrasura resembles a mountain and swallows Indra. Certainly the Devatas lament for swallowing of the swallowing of the Indra. With this, let us continue, and at the end of each verse, after translation, we'll just go through part of the Subodhini as well, which describes few lines at the end of every verse. So we understand that verse well. Madhumayi Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी
Hey,
प्रणाम
Mataji, Pranam Mataji. Please go ahead.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय श्रीशुक उवाच इति ब्रुवाणौ अन्योन्यं धर्मजिज्ञासया नृप युयुधाते महावीर्यौ इंद्रवृत्रौ युधांपति थैंक यू माताजी प्रभु जी हरे
Thank you, Mataji. Chitra Mohini Devidasi ji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण मिनिट प्रभु जी हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी प्रणाम प्रभु जी ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय श्रीशुक उवाच इति ब्रुवाणवन्योन्यं धर्मा जिज्ञासया नृपा युयुधाते महावीर्य इंद्रवृथोर् युधांपति हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी थैंक यू प्रभु जी
Thank you. Rest of the people, please keep your hands on. We'll get each one of you recite at least one verse. Sri Sukha Uvacha Iti Bruvanavanyonyam Dharma Jignasaya Drupa Yuyudhyate Mahavirya Indra Yutro Vrutro Yudhampati. Madhumai Mataji, would you like to read synonyms for us?
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Synonyms by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Shuka Uvacha, Shri Shukadeva Goswami said, Iti, thus, Bruva now speaking Anyonyam to one another, Dharma Jijnasaya, with a desire to know the supreme, ultimate religious principle, devotional service. Nrupa, O king, Yuyudhate, fought. Mahavirya, both very powerful. Indra, King Indra. Vrutrau and Vrutrasura. Yudhampati, both great military commanders. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Madhumai Mataji. Translation. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, Rudrasura and King Indra spoke about devotional service even on the battlefield, and then, as a matter of duty, they again began fighting. My dear king, both of them were great fighters and were equally powerful. These verse actually describes only the fight that resumes again after discussion of the devotional service. Vrutrasura and Indra both are powerful fighters. They spoke about devotional service even on the battlefield, very similar to Gita being sung by Lord Krishna to Arjuna on the battlefield. And again they began fighting dutifully. Venkata Narsiha Prabhuji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Avidya Parigham Vrutah Kashnaya Samarindamah Indraya Prahinodgoram Yovamahastena Marisha. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Madhu Soni Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय आविद्य परिघं वृत्रः काष्णाय समरिन्दमः इंद्राय प्राहिणोदघोरं वामहस्तेन मारिष। थैंक यू प्रभु जी। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna. Mataji, would you like to read synonyms for us?
श्योर प्रभु जी। आविद्या whirling, Parigham, the club, Vritta, Vrittasura, Karshana, Ayasam, made of iron, Arimdamaha, who was competent to subdue his enemy, Indraya, at Indra, Prahahinot, threw, Ghoram, very fearful, Vama Hastena, with his left hand, Marisha, O best of kings, Maharaja Parikshit. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Madhu Soni Mataji. Translation. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O Maharaj Parikshit, Rudrasura, who was completely able to subdue his enemy, took his iron club, whirled it around, aimed it at Indra, and then threw it at him with his left hand. Nicely describes the action of Rudrasura. He actually whirls the whole iron club with his left hand and then throws it towards Indra. Mind you, this is done with the left hand because the right hand has been chopped off earlier. Pranandini Mataji. Go ahead, Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, प्रणाम प्रभु जी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। सत्पुत्रस्य परिघं करं च करपोपमं दिच्छेद युगपद्देवो वज्रेण शतपर्वणा। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, थैंक यू प्रभु जी।
Thank you, Mataji. Mataji, would you like to read synonyms for us?
थैंक यू प्रभु जी। स हि किंग इंद्र टू however Rudrasya of Rudrasura Parigham the iron club Karam his hand cha and Karabha Upamam as strong as the trunk of an elephant Cheda cut to pieces Yugapat simultaneously Deva Lord Indra Pradrena with the thunderbolt Sataparbana having 100 joints. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Pranandini Mataji. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. With his thunderbolt named Sataparvan, Indra simultaneously cut to pieces Rudrasura's club and his remaining hand. Those who want to recite can raise their hand again. Madhumai Krishnan Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
दोर्भ्याम् उत्कृष्टमूलाभ्याम् बभौ रक्तस्रवो असुरः छिन्नपक्षो यथा गोत्रः खाद्भ्रष्टो वज्रिणा हतः. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Would you like to read synonyms for us, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Synonyms by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Dorbhyam, from the two arms. Utkrutta Mulabhyam, cut from the very root. Babhau was Raktasravaha, profusely discharging blood. Asuraha, Pratrasura, Chinna Pakshaha, whose wings are cut. Yata, just as Gotraha, a mountain. Khat, from the sky. Brashtaha, falling. Vajrina, by Indra, the carrier of the thunderbolt. Hataha, struck. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Madhumai Mataji. Translation. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Rudrasura, bleeding profusely, his two arms cut off at their roots, looked very beautiful, like a flying mountain whose wings have been cut to pieces by Indra. Purport. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. It appears from the statement of these words that sometimes there are flying mountains and that their wings are cut by the thunderbolt of Indra. Rudrasura's huge body resembled such a mountain. Flying mountain is not really just an imagination. Here in this verse, Indra cuts off the left hand of the Rudrasura and his club, and thus, after his both hands being cut, Rudrasura appears as if he is a big mountain with cut wings which keeps profusely bleeding. Mountains which are hanging are seen abundantly in some of the provinces of China. It's a part of illusion and part of reality that is seen as if the mountains are simply hanging in the air. Similarly, flying mountains have been described, but they are still said to be imaginations. We have now big verse to take, 27 to 29. There are 3 verses. And we'll start with Madhusoni Mataji. Go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. महाप्राणो महावीर्यो महासर्प इव द्विपम् कृत्वा धरां हनुं भूमौ दैत्यो दिव्योत्तरां हनुं नभो गम्भीरवक्त्रेण लेलीहोलबणजिह्व्या दंष्ट्राभिः कालकल्पाभिः ग्रसन्निव जगत्त्रयम् अतिमात्रमहाकाय आक्षिपंस्तरसा गिरिन् गिरिराटपादचारीव पदभ्यां निर्जरयन् महिम् जग्रास स समासाद्य वज्रिणं सह वाहनम्. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji, for reading nicely in meter. Pran Nandini Mataji. Go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Mahaprano Mahaviryo Mahasarpa Iva Dipam Pratrudharam Hanu Bhamau Daitya Dipya Uttaram Hanum Navagam Virabhaktrena Lelihalvana Jivaya Drashtabhi Kalakalpabhir Grasan Iva Jagatrayam Attat Atimatra Mahakaya Akhipam Sataras Girin Girirat Padadachariva Padabhyam Nirjaryan Mahim Jagrasasa Samasadya Vajrinam Sahavahanam. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Chitra Mohini Devidasi ji. The first 3 are in first verse. Go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
भगवते वासुदेवाय महाप्राणो महावीर्यो महासर्प इव द्वीपं कृत्वाधरम् अनुं भूमौ दैत्यो दिव्युत्तराम् अनुं नभो गम्भीरवक्त्रेण लेलिहोल्बनजिह्वया दंष्ट्राभिकालकल्पाभ्रिग्रसन्निव जगत्त्रयम् अतिमात्रमहाकाया आक्षिपंस्तरसा गिरिन् गिरिराटपादचारी वा पद्भ्यां निर्झरयन् महीं जग्राससा समासाद्य वज्रिणं सह वाहनम्. हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी. थैंक यू प्रभुजी.
Thank you, Mataji. Madhumehi Krishna Mataji. Go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Mahaprano Mahaviryo Mahasarpa iva dvipam Krutvaadharam hanum bhumau Daityo divyuttaram hanum Nabho gambhira vaktrena Leli volvana jivvaya Damstrabihi kalakalpabhir ग्रसन्निव जगत्त्रयम् अतिमात्रा महाकाया आक्षिपन् स्तरसा गिरिन् गिरिराट् पादचारीव पद्भ्यां निर्जरयन् महीं जग्रास समासाद्य वज्रिणं सावाहनम्. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, would you like to take synonyms for us?
Yes,
Uttama
Prabhuji.
Padma Mataji, you will be taking the last verse.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Go ahead, Mataji, with the synonyms.
Yeah, synonyms by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Mahapranaha, very great in bodily strength. Mahaviryaha, showing uncommon prowess. Mahasarpaha, the biggest snake. Iva, like. Dvipam, an elephant. Krutva, placing. Adharam, the lower. Hanum, jaw. Bhumau, on the ground. Daityaha, the demon. Divi, in the sky. Uttaram, Hanum, the upper jaw. Nabaha, like the sky. Gambhira, deep. Vaktrena, with his mouth, Leliha, like a snake, Ulbana, fearful, Jifwaya, with a tongue, Damstrabihi, with teeth, Kala Kalpabihi, exactly like the time factor or death, Grasan, devouring, Iva, as if, Jagat Trayam, the three worlds, Atimatra, very high, Mahakayaha, whose great body, Akshipan, shaking, Tarasa, with great force, Girin, the mountains, Girirat, the Himalaya mountains, Padachari, moving on the foot, Iva, as if, Padbhyam, by his feet, Nira, Nirjarayan, crushing. Mahim, the surface of the world. Jagrasa, swallowed. Saha, he. Samasadya, reaching. Vajrinam, Indra, who carries the thunderbolt. Saha Vahanam, with his carrier, the elephant. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Madhuri Krishna Mataji. Thank you. Translation. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vrutrasur was very powerful in physical strength and influence. He placed his lower jaw on the ground and his upper jaw in the sky. His mouth became very deep like the sky itself, and his tongue resembled a large serpent. With his fearful death-like teeth, he seemed to be trying to devour the entire universe. Thus, assuming a gigantic body, the great demon Vrutrasu shook even the mountains and began crushing the surface of the earth with his legs, as if he were the Himalayas walking about. He came before Indra and swallowed him, and Airavat, his carrier, just as a big python might swallow an elephant. Demon can do lot many things which are beyond our imagination. All right, we have a last verse for today, and Uttama Padma Mataji, go ahead, Mataji.
Yes, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Om Namo
Hare
Bhagavate
Krishna,
Vasudevaya. रुद्रग्रस्तं समालोक्य सप्रजापतया सुराः हा कष्टमिति निर्विण्णा चुकृषु समहारुषयः. हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी.
Thank you. What a lovely way to close it today. Please go ahead, Saurabhya Madhvi Devidasi ji, the
Hare
scholar,
Krishna Prabhuji.
the scholar of the house.
Oh
Go ahead.
no, Prabhuji. No, Prabhuji, don't say that. Hare Krishna. वृत्रग्रस्तं तमालोक्य सप्रजापतयः सुरः हा कष्टमिति निर्विण्णा चुकृषु समहर्षयः. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, would you like to read synonyms for us?
Yes, yes, yes. Vritrasura grastam, swallowed by Vritrasura. Tam, him, that is Indra. Alokya, seeing. Sa Prajapatayah, with Lord Brahma and other Prajapatis. Suraha, all the demigods. Ha, alas. Kashtam, what a tribulation. Iti, thus. Nirvinnaha, being very morose. Chukrushaha, lamented. Sa Maharasaha, with great sages. Rishaya. Hare Krishna. Dandavad.
Thank you very much, Ramya Madhvi Mataji, for wonderfully reading synonyms and the sloka. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When the demigods, along with Brahma, other Prajapatis, and other great saintly persons, saw that Indra had been swallowed by the demon, they became very morose. Alas, they lamented, What a calamity! What a calamity! In short, we end today halfway through killing of the Vrutrasura by Indra in the last battle. The climax is where we are stopping today, when Indra, who ultimately is going to be a winner, is being swallowed as if he is about to be defeated. We saw that in verse 25, Indra used his thunderbolt and easily cut the left hand and the club that has been sent along by the left hand towards Indra. This certainly proved that thunderbolt is very, very effective, and Indra could realize in his mind that Lord Vishnu's instructions always works. It's pity that Indra had doubts in his mind about the working of the thunderbolt when he dropped the thunderbolt while fighting on the ground. However, he was fighting with a pure devotee, and that's why a pure devotee reminds him that the thunderbolt is very effective. It's going to kill me because it has been produced as per the instruction of Lord Vishnu. So he should not have any doubts in his mind whether this thunderbolt would kill this demon or not. This had to be cleared by a pure devotee to otherwise a moderate devotee like Indra. Thus we understand the pure devotees have a great role to play, and understand one more thing, that when pure devotees are acting or devotees are acting in this material world, it may be possible that some of their actions cannot be compared and correlated to the material world actions. Namanista Prabhuji many times explains to us that many a times you people must be feeling about actions of the devotees staying in the temple. They act quite differently, and that difference basically is because of basic concept that these devotees in temple have very perfectly created a craft to understand that spirit is everything and I am the soul. Their Deha Bhavana has been completely abolished, and so also the superiority and supremacy of the Lord, His divinity, compared to the material pleasures and material opulences. We, the common karmis and neophytes, still are grossly contaminated with material world, and to our mind still exist the material opulence, the pleasures of the world, and then the money and other aspects of the physical, of the material manifestation, still considered as important, and at times even supreme also. And thus there is a difference. We understand something else as better and bigger, whereas devotees definitely understand, and their mind is beyond any doubts that Lord is supreme and divinity and spirituality is everything. This difference is always going to be there. And so, while analyzing the devotee's actions, please do not use the material parameters or the parameters of the material world. because every time it may not match. Most of the time it does, because devotees, pure devotees, are very compassionate. And thus they always act in a manner that does not startle or surprise non-devotees or devotees who are neophytes. They always care for the feelings and perception of us all, and that's why we do not see a great difference at times. But whenever you see one, do remember that it is because we have not yet surrendered like them. When we surrender like them, then probably we would be able to feel that their actions are absolutely perfect. Now, when Sadas Prabhuji was explaining that he has left the world, world means his world of his house, his parents, his money, his job, etc. And if you look at it, he has nothing on his hand at all. It's only the temple. If tomorrow the temple says, I don't owe you, he has nothing to exist in this world. But look at the confidence and the love and affection with which he lives and works. He's probably more devoted, more committed, and more sincere and hardworking than all of us together. This is because they have taken the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, and they have taken shelter with full faith that everything would go perfectly well. We even know at times that our work will be done in this material world and still doubt and have anxieties. These devotees have no such anxieties. They are above these small anxieties and small worries because they have full faith and trust in the Lord that whatever is necessary would certainly happen. How it happens, they don't care. It is said, and I keep saying this sentence again and again, that God works in the most mysterious ways. Working of the God or providence is quite beyond our imagination or beyond our analysis, beyond our understanding with the senses that we have, which are absolutely inadequate to understand such a huge providence. And thus, when the God works, it always is perfect. Always remember that whenever you get a grief or a reverses or some problem in your life, remember one thing, that reverse, that issue or that problem is sanctioned by the Lord. Without his sanctioning, nothing comes along to us. And so you must accept it with as much pleasure as you would accept any glories. And when you achieve that stage, that's when you have taken a shelter with full confidence. Whatever comes along on your path is something which is always sanctioned by the Lord. Even if you sustain a fall and a fracture, well, don't blame anyone else. That has been sanctioned for you by Lord himself. Once you realize and understand this very well, the effect of those calamities waters down, and you understand it as one of those. In the material world, we always say that there is no problem which cannot be surmounted or solved. It simply needs that much longer walking together. So if two people have issue or a problem, simplest thing is walk together, talk together. Bigger the problem, walking is longer. Shorter the problem, the walking is shorter. But there is no problem which cannot be solved in the material world. Then how can there be even a problem in the spiritual world? This kind of shelter, Sharanagati, we all need to develop and take it. We need to let go the command situations everywhere that we are habituated to. And we must develop compassion. More and more compassion you develop, it means you are thinking more about others or an opposite party than yourself. When such things happen, that's when actually you have truly started taking shelter of the Lord and His lotus feet. You have started doing that with confidence and with faith. It's the faith which is the most important part in the whole Bhakti Marg. Faith is the one which brings us to the Bhakti Marg. Faith is the one which actually decides the determination and sticking to the same path. And faith is the one which lets us walk until we reach a stage of Nishtha. When you reach the stage of Nishtha, then automatically no one falls after that. But till that, the faith is the most single important factor that got to be there and got to be getting stronger every day. When you do your introspection, you must try and introspect that your faith is getting stronger every day. If it is not getting stronger every day, you better take advice of some senior devotees or your spiritual master. Faith has to have a stronger and stronger footing, so much strong that by the time you reach Nishtha, it has become convincingly like a big thick wall which no one can penetrate, and certainly your Maya will not penetrate to come to you. So in devotional service, we all know, we all have charted our roadmap. The ultimate aim is to get that bhakti. Which bhakti? The Vraj bhakti. The bhakti that Vrajvasis have. And that bhakti is the ultimate bhakti in which the existence of me and mine or yourself does not remain. Krishna is the center. Krishna's activities are the center. Krishna's enjoyments are the center. And his everything is on top of everything else. This bhakti is a gold standard. We want to reach there. We can only reach there if we have total Saranagati with full confidence, and to develop a perception and effect of the Saranagati, you got to go at least to the level of Nishtha, where gradually you go to the Bhava and Prema, and then remain serving with transcendental loving service to the Lord without any purpose and without any interruption. The sequence of events that are being described in all these verses are actually the events that are occurring. And the events can be understood very easily because our mind is trained to learn and read the events all the time. All the news that we get, positive and negative, are nothing but the events. And so we are tuned to the events. It's only the philosophical verses that require stretching our imagination, trying to understand with the cross references and understand the intricacies of the philosophy. These verses are describing a battle. there has been going on now between two parties. Surprisingly, the party which is considered to be a stronger one is going to lose at the end of the day, and the party which is considered to be weaker and looks much smaller is going to win. This is because that is Lord's will. It is a Lord's will that ultimately matters. We all are fortunate that we carry the Lord's will, that we remain in this conscious movement, Krishna conscious movement, and we go back to Godhead. So let us take advantage of this God's will. And now let us forget all the material aspects that we are attached to. Maybe you continue living the life, but still remain detached from it. Don't get attached to those material things that you are using. Develop a detachment, and in a process, once you develop the detachment, your walking would gradually become running on a spiritual path. But all these things are only possible if you are regular in your japa. And so everything boils down to one thing: until you get cleansing of your heart and mind, until all the anarthas and offenses are gone from your mind and the heart, you are vulnerable to go back to Maya. And for that, you need regular japa. Japa is very, very important. Japa or some kirtana or something. Nam japa is most important, and that's why forget everything else. You may forget taking breathing or eating food, but never ever forget completing your job. That's the basic fundamental aspect which can only carry you to all the paths that we described. We have learned about the path which we are walking, and we know the map. But all these things are not useful until your japa is regular, is without any aparadh, and it is with total concentration to the Lord. When you do your japa, you are simply hearing what you are speaking, and your mind is concentrated on hearing what you are speaking. It cannot be anywhere else. Otherwise, that is not a pure japa. So the most important thing that Srila Prabhupada is always saying is regular japa. And as jap, nam jap is something which is like a medicine. Unless the regular doses are taken, the disease of Maya attached to us is never going to go. And so, if you have done 2 malas less or 2 rounds less today, see that you do 2 more extra tomorrow. But see that your number is maintained, whatever you're doing, and see that as the time goes, you progress further. This is very important. Unless we do that, all that we are reading, all that we are trying to understand and understanding becomes simple stories. When you read these Krishna Kathas, when you read Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita, a bhav should develop in you so strong that at times you feel like you are participating in that Leela of the Lord, in that pastime of the Lord. That much bhav should be there in us. And that bhav comes along when your heart and the minds are clean. That can only be done with regular Nam Japa in a regular doses. I think we've done quite a good job today. Any question, any doubts, any Any other queries, any commentaries, any explanations, please go ahead. If there are no other questions, I thank you most sincerely for you all attending the class early in the morning in this beginning of the winter. All of you have a wonderful Krishna conscious day today. Today is Sunday. If possible, maybe you could have 1 or 2 rounds extra as you are going to be free today. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya pasindhubhya evacha patita nama pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna to everyone and all very best to you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Dandavat
Hare
Pranam Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Pranam.